Welcome to Be Great Today, weekly inspiration to start your week. So this episode is called Willingness to Fail. This is a quote that I heard from Pedro Seminario, the Sound Supervisor at Blizzard. So I was watching BlizzCon and just enjoying all the stuff about how they make Blizzard games, and they had a sound design panel. So they're going to the sound design panel, and they're creating things like they're making these sounds, and they showed that they use paper towels and a bed sheet, they use some clay, but they were creating all these sounds and then showing them how they all were put together to create a video game. And Pedro Seminario said something that was really inspiring. You have to have a willingness to fail. And I like that because not everything we do will work. We have to try new things. Podcasting is an incredible medium in the fact that people took RSS, which was being used for blogs, said, hey, what if we take audio, put it into an RSS feed, and then send it out? And then people started doing that. So you had these feeds that were sending out audio. Well, then Apple came along and was like, hey, what if we take this audio in these feeds? What if we cast it to iPods and you get podcasts? So many things that we know in life are because somebody had a willingness to fail, not being afraid to try something. I've got a friend named Avrom Honig. I met them years ago at Video on the Net, which was a conference put on by Jeff Pulver and Chris Rogan. Avrom loved the food of their bubbe, which is Yiddish for grandmother. So Avrom was like, hey, what if I record my bubbe teaching how to make this food and put it online? What happened next was amazing. Bubbe became the bubbe for so many people. So many people got inspired to try new things. Bubbe taught people a love for cooking. Unfortunately, Bubbe passed away in 2014, but because Avrom had a willingness to fail, had a willingness to try something new, when Bubbe passed, I felt like I knew Bubbe. At a PodCamp, Avrom used a term. He said, failure is not failure. Failure gives you the opportunity to understand what went wrong, to then change it so you have better success in the future. Having a willingness to fail lets you create some amazing things, like what Pedro has made at Blizzard with the sounds. This week, let's have a willingness to fail, a willingness to try new things. Every time I put out a podcast episode, I have a willingness to fail. I know not every episode of every podcast I make will be a home run, but every week I am trying to do what I can to be an inspiration to everybody. Let's have a willingness to fail. Thank you for listening to this week's Be Great Today. You can find the show at be-great.today/64. If this episode has inspired you, and you know someone who can use inspiration on their journey that has a lot of opportunities that they need a willingness to fail on, please share this podcast episode with your friends. Until next week, be awesome.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.